Ravi was a poor delivery boy who worked hard every day. He rode his old bicycle through the busy streets, carrying food for people. One evening, he received a big order for a grand house at the edge of the city. The address looked different, like it belonged to someone very rich. Ravi had never been to such a place before. He wondered who lived there. Little did he know, this order would change his life. Holding the food bag tightly, he pedaled towards the shining gates. The world he was about to enter was far from anything he had ever known, and nobody expected what was waiting for him inside. The mansion was so big, it looked like a palace. The tall golden gates opened slowly, and Ravi felt small as he walked inside. Lights sparkled everywhere, and loud music played in the background. Expensive cars were parked outside, shining like diamonds. Ravi adjusted his torn shirt, feeling embarrassed. He thought, will they even allow me inside? But he remembered his job, deliver the food. He knocked on the large wooden door, and soon a servant opened it. The servant looked at Ravi with a strange smile and said, "Come inside, boy." "They are waiting." Ravi was confused. "Waiting for me?" He only came to deliver food. Inside the hall, a party was going on. Children were laughing, running, and playing games. At the center was Rohan, the rich birthday boy. Rohan wore shiny clothes and a golden crown on his head. Everyone was singing and clapping for him. When Ravi entered, Rohan's friends stopped and looked at him. "Who is this poor boy?" one whispered. Ravi felt nervous. He wanted to drop the food and leave. But Rohan walked closer, staring at Ravi. "Hey, what are you doing in my party?" Rohan asked loudly. The music stopped. All eyes were now on Ravi, the poor delivery boy. Ravi held up the food bag and said politely, "I came to deliver this order." Everyone laughed. One boy shouted, "Look, the food boy is at the party!" Ravi's face turned red. He wished he could disappear. But then something strange happened. Rohan looked at Ravi carefully and said, "Wait, I know you from somewhere." Ravi shook his head. "No, sir, I just came for delivery." But Rohan didn't stop. He kept staring at Ravi as if trying to remember something important. The crowd waited in silence. Why was the rich birthday boy so interested in this poor delivery boy? Instead of sending Ravi away, Rohan suddenly said, "Stay for the party." Everyone gasped. "What? A delivery boy in our party?" His friends whispered. But Rohan didn't care. "I want him to join," he said. Ravi was shocked. Nobody had ever invited him to such a rich party. He shook his head. "I can't, sir. I must go back to work." But Rohan insisted. "No, you will stay. Tonight is special." The servant guided Ravi to a chair. Ravi sat quietly, feeling out of place. The other kids stared at him with curious eyes. Something unusual was happening, and nobody knew why. The party continued with fun games. Children played musical chairs, balloons, and dance competitions. Rohan asked Ravi to join the games too. At first, Ravi refused, but Rohan pushed him gently. "Come on, try." Surprisingly, Ravi was good at the games. He ran fast, jumped high, and even won a round of musical chairs. The other kids were shocked. "How can a delivery boy beat us?" they whispered. Jealousy began to grow. Some children didn't like Ravi's presence. They thought he didn't belong there. But Rohan clapped loudly. "Well done, Ravi!" he cheered. This made the others even more upset. Soon it was time for the birthday cake. A giant chocolate cake, bigger than Ravi had ever seen, was rolled in. Everyone clapped and sang. Rohan smiled and cut the cake with a silver knife. He gave the first piece to his parents, then his friends. Suddenly, he walked over to Ravi. "Here, you take a piece too." Gasps filled the room. "Why him?" one girl asked angrily. Rohan ignored them. He placed the cake in Ravi's hand and smiled. Ravi felt tears in his eyes. Nobody had ever treated him with such kindness before. But why was Rohan so nice to him? As the party went on, adults started whispering about Ravi. "Who is that boy?" one guest asked. "Why is Rohan giving him so much attention?" Another questioned. The children also kept gossiping. Some laughed at Ravi's torn shoes. Others made fun of his old bicycle parked outside. Ravi heard everything but stayed quiet. He didn't want to spoil the party. Rohan noticed the whispers too, but he didn't care. He kept calling Ravi to stand beside him. The more Rohan showed kindness, the more jealous his friends became. Something was building up. The party was no longer just about fun. One boy named Samir, jealous of Ravi, planned a prank. He whispered to others, and they all agreed. While Ravi was drinking juice, Samir suddenly pushed him. The glass spilled all over Ravi's shirt. The kids laughed loudly. "See? He doesn't belong here," Samir shouted. Ravi looked down, embarrassed. His shirt was wet and sticky. For a moment, Ravi thought of leaving. But before he could move, Rohan stood up. "Enough!" he shouted. The hall went silent. Rohan walked to Samir and said angrily, "How dare you do this?" Everyone froze. Why was Rohan defending a poor delivery boy so strongly? Ravi was touched but confused. Why was Rohan protecting him so much? Rohan looked serious. He asked the crowd, "Do you know why I invited Ravi to stay?" Everyone shook their heads. Rohan continued, "Because I feel like I know him." Ravi frowned. "But I don't know you," he said softly. Rohan stared at Ravi's face for a long moment. Then he whispered, "There's something about your eyes. They look like someone I once knew." The guests murmured in confusion. Ravi didn't understand. Was Rohan hiding something? Why did he feel such a strong connection with a poor delivery boy? Rohan's mother suddenly entered with an old photo album. She had been listening quietly. She opened the album and showed a picture of a young servant holding a baby. Ravi's eyes widened. The servant in the photo looked exactly like his late father. This is my father," Ravi whispered. The crowd gasped. Rohan's mother looked shocked. "That man worked in our house many years ago." Ravi felt his heart race. Could this mean his family once lived here? The truth was slowly coming out. The party was no longer about fun, it was about secrets hidden in the past. Rohan's parents explained. "Your father, Ravi, was the most loyal servant in our house. He saved our family during a fire many years ago." Tears filled Ravi's eyes. He remembered his father telling stories about working in a big mansion, but Ravi never knew it was this one. "But why did he leave?" Ravi asked. Rohan's father sighed. "He left after the fire because he was badly hurt. We lost contact after that." Ravi stood silently, holding the photo. He finally understood why Rohan felt connected. Their lives had crossed long ago, and now destiny had brought them together again. Not everyone was happy with this discovery. Some rich guests whispered angrily. "Why are they giving so much importance to a delivery boy?" one man said. Another nodded. "This is ruining the party." The children also started complaining. "He doesn't belong with us," they cried. But Rohan didn't listen. "He belongs here more than anyone," Rohan said firmly. Ravi felt nervous. He didn't want to cause trouble. "Maybe I should leave," he whispered. But Rohan grabbed his hand. "No, you stay. Tonight, I will show everyone who you really are." The hall filled with tension. Something big was about to happen. Rohan stood on a chair and called everyone's attention. "Listen, everyone!" The music stopped. All eyes turned to him. "This boy, Ravi, is not just a delivery boy. His father saved my family's life. Without him, I wouldn't be here today." Gasps filled the room. Ravi's heart beat faster. Rohan continued. "So today, on my birthday, I want to honor Ravi and his family." The crowd stayed silent, unsure how to react. Ravi felt overwhelmed. He never thought his simple delivery job would lead to this moment. But what Rohan said next shocked everyone, including Ravi himself. Rohan looked directly at Ravi. "From today, you are my brother." The hall erupted in gasps and whispers. "What, a delivery boy as his brother?" some shouted. But Rohan ignored them. He held Ravi's hand high and declared, "We will stand together from now on." Ravi was speechless. He had never imagined such kindness. Tears rolled down his cheeks. "But I am not worthy," Ravi whispered. Rohan shook his head. "Yes, you are. Your father was a hero, and you are brave too." The guests didn't know how to react. The story had taken a turn nobody expected. Samir, the jealous boy, grew angrier. "This is unfair," he shouted. "He is poor. He doesn't deserve to be here." Other kids nodded. A fight of words began in the hall, but Rohan stood strong. "If you can't respect my brother, you can leave." Samir's face turned red with shame. He stomped out, followed by a few others. The party atmosphere turned heavy. Some kids stayed silent, watching closely. Ravi felt guilty. I didn't mean to cause this, he said softly. But Rohan smiled. Don't worry. True friends will stay. It was a test of loyalty, and only the real ones remained. Suddenly, the lights went out. The hall turned dark, and people screamed. What happened? Someone shouted. The generator failed, too. Everyone panicked. Just then, a small fire started in the corner of the room from a fallen candle. Smoke filled the air. The guests cried for help. Ravi didn't waste a second. He remembered his father's bravery. Without fear, he ran towards the fire, grabbed a cloth, and beat down the flames. His hands burned, but he didn't stop. Slowly, the fire went out. The lights came back on. Everyone saw Ravi, coughing but standing tall. Silence filled the hall. Rohan ran to Ravi and hugged him. You saved us, just like your father once did, he whispered. The guests were shocked. The same story had repeated, this time with the son. Ravi looked around, breathing heavily. People who once laughed at him now clapped with respect. Even the adults bowed their heads. He is not just a delivery boy, one guest admitted. He is a true hero. Ravi smiled weakly. For the first time, he felt proud of himself. The boy who came to deliver food had now delivered courage, hope, and inspiration to everyone in that rich party. After the fire, the mood changed completely. Rohan's parents thanked Ravi with tears in their eyes. Your father saved us once, and now you saved us again, they said. Rohan held Ravi's hand tightly. From today, you are not just my brother. You are part of this family. Ravi was shocked. But I have nothing, he whispered. Rohan's mother smiled. You have a big heart, and that is everything. Ravi's world had changed in one night. The poor boy who entered as a stranger was now loved like family. Nobody expected this ending, but it was only the beginning. The party ended with joy, laughter, and love. Guests left with respect for Ravi. The same kids who once mocked him now shook his hand. Samir, ashamed, quietly said sorry before leaving. Ravi stood at the gate looking at his old bicycle. But this time he wasn't sad. He had found something greater than money: family, love, and honor. Rohan stood beside him, smiling. Together we will change the world, he said. Ravi nodded with hope in his eyes. The poor delivery boy had walked into a rich party, but he walked out as a hero. Nobody expected this ending. Please like and subscribe for more interesting videos.